Myself Mohammad Faizan, and in today's video we are going to talk about how how group video calls and voice call and chat messaging system work. This video is divided into two phases. In first phase we will learn about the system design of WebRTC, how WebRTC work, and how we can build a video calling application using the WebRTC. By the way, WebRTC is also used by Google Meet. So all the Google Meet are powered by the WebRTC. So WebRTC is too much powerful than we are thinking. And in second phase we are going to build our own video calling application using ZEGOCLOUD. By the way, ZEGOCLOUD is a sponsor of this video, and if you don't know about the ZEGOCLOUD, so ZEGOCLOUD provide highly scalable infrastructure for creating video, voice and chat applications. With ZEGOCLOUD UI kit we will build a robust video calling application in just a minute. That will gonna take months, but with ZegoCloud we will build just in a minute. You can say in a, not in a minute, but maybe in a few minutes. Okay, you will realize when you will build. If you are thinking why we are using ZegoCloud, why we are not building our own video calling application, so that reason is simple, because building a video calling application is not a easy thing. That is really a big complex thing. And if you want to implement and a video calling feature maybe in your freelance project, then you will not going to build your own video calling thing. You will use these kind of third party services. Or if you want to add a video calling, additional video calling feature additionally for your maybe application, maybe your SaaS somewhere where maybe where you are working, they need some video calling feature just addition. So for the addition, for the small thing, you will not going to build your own video calling service. So it's not make a sense. Then you will use infrastructure like ZegoCloud provides. Okay, so also we will use their infrastructure to power our video calling Next.js application. So now let's talk about the system design of WebSockets, and after that we will build our own app. Okay, so now this is the system diagram which I have prepared for you. Okay, so here you can see there is a docs written by ChatGPT. I haven't written this, but this is a diagram, and which this one is I have written. Okay, so I have written this, and worry not, I will explain everything you. But if you are thinking about why I am not using eraser, so the reason is I have reached the limit of eraser. Okay, for free version I am not gonna buy that thing. Okay, if something is free, then why I am gonna buy a paid thing. Okay, so and now it's enough for my use case, that's why I am using. By the way, if you want this design, okay, this design is system design, so you can just find the link in the description of Google Drive, where I will put .escalator file. You can download that .escalator file and just browse it at here. Okay, and after this let's start now. And now let's see how this works. Let's first know what's the WebRTC. Okay, so WebRTC is a web browser based technology. That's inbuilt technology that's come in almost every browser. Okay, technology for making the real-time communication with maybe video, maybe with audio, maybe also we can use for chatting. Okay, yeah, WebRTC is too much powerful. By the way, if you want to learn more about the WebRTC, just hit WebRTC. Okay, it's not WhatsApp, so it's WebRTC. Okay, so this one is WebRTC. Here you will find a WebRTC documentation on webrtc.org. But I have seen the many people's using this one. Okay, so MDN reference, yeah, MDN reference WebRTC. So if you want, you can also come here and read here. Okay, by the way, in this video I am not gonna code for WebRTC, I am gonna code for ZegoCloud, who is the sponsor of the video. Okay, this video is possible due to them. Okay, because they are partnered with me, and yeah, that's why I have prepared a video on WebRTC with a system design. Okay, so now let's discuss. Let's suppose, by the way, this WebRTC connection work on only two devices, with one you maybe, and second one is your friend. But the Google but the main thing is Google Meet is also built on the WebRTC technology, but they are capable to add thousands of people at a time. How? They use some other kind of thing, matlab they use their own server to make a communication, but that is the not part of this video. But if you want to build the multi I can say group conference on WebRTC with using the React Next.js Hono, and then just comment me. If I will get multiple comments, and I will prepare. But maybe this video take a while. I know this kind of video will take a while, but because I am planning to build a clerk clone. Okay, that's my plan. After the part 2 of SMM panel, I will come up with that one. Okay, so now let's see. Let's suppose here is two device. Okay, so here is one device one. Okay, and here is device 2, which is your friend's device, and maybe this is your device. Okay, so let's suppose this is your device. Okay, it's too much small. Okay, yeah, it's not looking fine. And now let's drag this here, and now just okay. So now here Aman is my friend. Now we want to connect for a video conference. Then how we will connect? So we need to establish a connection here from here. And also Aman's computer want to make a connection with us for sending the video audio stream. Okay, but the thing is this: how Aman and my system will able to connect each other. For to connecting each other, we want to know the address of each computer. Okay, I suppose that if you want to go to your friend's house, then how you will go without address? You need a address of your friend's home, then you will able to go there with your friend's home. So that's why we also need address of this computer and also this computer to connect each other. So in the internet world there is IP address. Okay, the IP is the address of each computer. Okay, so there is two kind of IP. One is private. Okay, so one is private and second one is public. Okay, okay, public. Okay, public. I think his spelling is correct. Don't go on my spelling because I'm too weak in spellings. Okay, so there is two kind of IP: private and public. So private IP is assigned to the system. Okay, the system which you are using. Maybe let me split this. Okay, okay, so private IT is assigned to your system, and that public one IP, that public IP. Let's suppose this is the your router. There is router. Okay, so the public IP is assigned to your router. Okay, so this one. By the way, if you thinking how we will get this private IP, the private IP is also provided by your router. Okay, if you don't connect your computer to router, then you have no IP. Okay, you can see currently I have connected to our router, which is Airtel. Okay, so it's Airtel Moha. Okay, so now let me show you my IP. Let me open the terminal and write the ifconfig. Okay, so if I think in Windows it's IP. Yeah. Let me see, I have forgot it because I am using both, also Windows and also Linux. So config. Okay, so not working. I think it's IP config. Yeah, it's IP config. You can see this is the IP4 address. It's class C. I think it's called class C. 190, 192 and 168. I have forgotten which class IP is this. Let me see. Tell me the class of this IP. Tell me. Okay, yeah, class C. Yeah, you can see this is the class C IP address. So in the class C IP address we will get IP like this. Start with 192.168.1.4. Okay, by the way, this is different for everyone, and private IP address could be same for multiple devices, because private IP is assigned by your router. But what if I will disconnect my internet? Now let me disconnect my router. Okay, so now I have disconnect my router. If I run this, no, I haven't any IP. So it's clear our router provides private IP. Okay, and our router have a public IP to access the internet. Okay, because if you want to access the internet, you need a public IP. Here now we have a private IP and we have a public IP. And now if you want to know how these private IP and public IP works together, so now let's break down that. This is the part of networking. I haven't much idea of networking, but maybe I have some idea how internet works for as a web developer. Okay, so now you can see, let's suppose this is your router. Okay, so this is your router, and now here, okay, so this is your router, and now here you can see this is your system. Currently this is not connected to any network. Okay, now let's suppose you have connected this with the internet. Okay, with your router. So now this okay, so now this computer have their private IP. Okay, and now this have a private IP, and now your router have a public IP. Okay, public IP. Okay, so now suppose that you have requested something, let's suppose you have requested google.com. Okay, so here the google.com you have requested this, and this will go to the your router. Okay, so and now your router, what your router will do, you have the private ip, your router will translate this private ip into the public ip. Okay, it's important to use a public ip which will expose on internet. By the way, if you want to see your public ip, so just search for my ip. Okay, so my ip, if you search this website, and you will get this what is my ip address. Okay, now you can see checking. Okay, checking. Now you can see this is my public ip, and this ip is my airtel provider ip. You can see the bharti airtel private limited. There is no private. Okay, so you can see this is the private IT which is provided by my ISP, internet service provider. Okay, so now you can see here is our public IP, and now for this to by the way, this need a translation to private IP to public IP, public IP to private IP, but we will come with in some time. Now let's discuss. There is a server. Okay, so let's suppose this is the server of Google. Okay, Google server. Okay, so this is Google server, you have requested this Google server, so your public ip, okay, is responsible for here. Okay, so now let's suppose you have requested this. Now you have requested this here, and now your response will revert back to the your public ip. Okay, okay, what I have done, your public ip. Okay, here, so now this again, now again a translation runs. The translation is performed by the router, but there is another thing which work here, I will talk about. But let's see, this will translate it into private ip, and the private ip will detect which device we have used, because you may have multiple devices. Let's suppose you have this mobile phone. Okay, so this mobile phone, you may have another laptop. Okay, may have another laptops. Okay, so everyone have their ip which is provided by your isp. I mean your router. This device has different private ip, this device have different private ip, and this device have different private ip. So it's job to our router to translate that public ip to a correct private ip for the correct devices. Okay, how this work? Okay, so our router use a NAT. Okay, a NAT gateway, you can say a NAT. Okay, yeah, why I have selected the pencil? NAT. Okay, so NAT is responsible for the translating the private IP to public IP, public IP to private IP. And if you want to know the full form of this one, so network address translation. Okay, so this is the full form of this. If you want to learn more, you can just search NAT gateway. Okay, so it's NAT gateway, just search here. You will find the NAT gateway if you want to learn. By the way, NAT gateway is also service of AWS. So here the NAT gateway, network and network access translation allow us to apply for private connect subnet and all those things. Just if you want, you can just search NAT. Okay, okay, you can read the NAT from the Wikipedia. Okay, but I'm not gonna read this. You can see here, host server router plus NAT ip, private network internet. To access the internet you need a public ip, and your router will provide that public ip to access the internet. Okay, so the same thing story goes here. And now, okay, so this translation, how this translation and this internet call work. Okay, and now if we come here, so to connect these two computer we need this ip kind of information. So how we can do and how we can gather this information in a packet, you can say in a form that will accepted by the WebRTC. So we will use a server called instance server. Okay, so let's suppose it's a instance server. Instance server is just a server. Okay, not much more than that. If you wanna learn more, you can learn more. But this instance server is responsible for giving a ice candidate. Okay, so you can see it's if you come here, just request this, give me a ice candidate. Okay, give me ice candidate. You can say a shareable address for this computer. So this will return as a ice candidate. Okay, so here, okay, why it's not working? Okay, so this will return called ice candidate. Let me write again I have selected pencil. Eyes, CAND. Okay, so here ice candidate. By the way, what is the ice candidate? Ice candidate can contain all the information. Private IP, also maybe public IP, maybe private, maybe public. Well, maybe there is possibilities to contain both. Maybe one and maybe and more other thing. If you wanna know more about the ice candidate, just go to the Chat GPT. Okay, ChatGPT will explain you what's the ice candidate or ice candidate, what contain the ice candidate. Hey, let's see. Hey, tell me. Okay, what do you have? Okay, hey, tell me about ice candidate. Ice can okay, don't go on my spelling. Maybe this is spelling may be wrong. Maybe okay, sure. Okay. By the way, it's writing in Hindi. So if you want, you can just go to the chat GPT and you can ask. Maybe you can say local network. It's a private network which I have explained. A public IP and behind the net firewall as candidate. Okay. So here it is something. Okay. And the ICE candidate is a required thing to share our address to the second computer. Okay, so now we have a ICE candidate which we have able to share to our server. Okay, and if you come here you will also find a thing called ICE candidate. You can say our one server is requesting ICE candidate. Okay, so here is the ICE candidate instance server. This instance might be and instance servers are so cheap. Okay, so almost you will find for free, maybe free. Okay, Google instance server is free. If you want, you can use Google's instance server. Okay, so here is this is ICE candidate, and now we have ICE candidate. Okay, so now we have ICE candidate. Let me get rid of these things. Okay, and now yeah, if you want to see, you can see I have also write a diagram here. You can see it's our router network. Okay, and this is our router, and these are our devices. Our devices have different private IP. They are different private IP, you can see. And now here is our net gateway, which is responsible for our IP translation, public to private and private to public. You can see the reaching the server and translation. Then here the same thing goes here. And now if you come here, now we have the instance server, and now we have ICE candidate, but we want to create offer. Let's suppose this computer want to start a video connection with this one. Okay, so this computer is responsible for the creating offer. So this computer, okay, so this computer generate a offer. Okay, create a offer. Okay, so what is this offer? If you want to know, and now let's load what's the this offer. You can see, so you can see I have written here it's the HTTP session description protocol. This describe what's the video is this is the video stream or the audio stream or the and maybe both, and what's the codec of the video, what's the frame rate of the video. By the way, this RDP session description protocol contain every information recording to make a seamless connection and seamless video streaming for that device to device. Okay, so now you can say it's a caller HTTP send. Okay, call, you can say offer offer and answer model. You can see there is caller send HTTP, receiver respond and send with an answer with an HTTP. Okay, so now let's come here. So let's suppose this create a offer. This system create a offer called SDP session description protocol. So now it's created this, and now here what now we have to do, we want to send these two information, these two, our ICE candidate and our SDP to our second computer, which we have, which I have my friend's computer, which who is Aman, Aman. So if I want to send this the information, then how we will send. Okay, so to send it, you can use your Gmail, maybe you can use Skype, maybe you can use WhatsApp, anything if you want to, if anything you will find convenient, you can send this. Okay, but in real life we are not doing this. Okay, we are not sending these details to email. Okay, so how we can do? So do that, we need to create a server. Okay, our own server, which is called signaling server. Okay, so it's a signaling server, or maybe spelling is wrong. Okay, yeah, it seems correct. Okay, so signaling server, this signaling server is based on WebRTC, it's based on WebSockets. Okay, So this use web sockets for connecting. Okay, so to for transmitting the data. Now what happening? Now let's see this system. Okay, this computer sends our session description and offer. You can see these two details. Okay, so these two details sent by this computer. Okay, and now this computer, okay, all the thing, by the way, all these information we will send with our server. Okay, so now this system, my friend system, will respond for this answer offer. Okay, let's suppose this my friends accepted the offer. So now my friend sends will send a answer. Okay, so the answer is also contain SDP. Okay, this also contain ice candidate. By the way, for ice candidate, this the Aman's computer is also rely on the same, maybe different. By the way, it's same because it's your app, so it's same instance server. Okay, this will also gather the ice candidate from the instance server. Okay, and now this will send ice candidate, and this time this is not a offer, this is answered STP, STP. Okay, answer STP. Okay, you can see, yeah, here. Okay, so now our system, you can see there is now our system. I don't know why it's not working as expected. Okay, so now this receive my friend's SDP and answer. Okay, after the exchange happened, okay, after after the exchange completed, then our server, okay, and now then our connection established, this connection is will established. Okay, and now this connection is UDP based. UDP, not if you don't know about UDP and TCP, let me show you. You can see these are two kind of protocol. By the way, TCP is the base layer of HTTP which we have using. So TCP is reliable. Okay, it's acknowledgeable, it's stable, it's reliable, it's fast. Okay, it's really fast because every web developer uses the HTTPS, and HTTP uses the layer as this TCP. Okay, and now you can see the TCP gives us a guarantee which we are sending, the thing we are sending that will go to the server or anywhere we are sending without losing the data. Okay, it's guaranteed, it's stable. Okay, you know the meaning of the stable, it's reliable and it's fast. But in case of UDP is faster than TCP. Also, it's too much faster than TCP, but this sacrifice everything for speed. Okay, if you sending something over UDP, so maybe there is chances the loss of the data. Maybe data will get corrupted. Okay, if you're trying to send a music file to your friend, so way to use T. So then best way to use TCP, because TCP is guaranteed us to send the correct file without losing any part of the file. Okay, it's responsible and it's give a guarantee. But UDP doesn't guarantee us. Maybe this will roll out some package of data and your friend will receive the wrong, you can say the corrupted MP3 file. Okay, so here, but in case of a video connection, you can see in the WebSocket, WebRTC. WebRT uses a TCP, no, let me see, UDP protocol for connection. If you are thinking why using UDP, why not using TCP? Because in video conference, on an audio conference, if someone, let me explain you. If you have ever joined any video meeting, if someone's audios start glitching, maybe lost some kind of data, then you will expect a quick replay, what happened, what not. You will just ask what you have talked. I have lost my internet. Well, maybe you have lost your internet. Just you can ask from the second person. They will tell you everything. So here is no need of using TCP. That's why they are using UDP, and due to the, and now UDP is fast, so we have the advantage of the fast connection and fast data transfer. Okay, so that's why WebRTC uses UDP. And now I think you have explained. So now let me again create a summary for that. Let's suppose you have a computer and your friends have a computer, runs on browser. Okay, by the way, this thing only works on browser. But if you are thinking how Google Meet work on behind the browser on their app, Maybe they're using the web technology for mobile apps and desktop app. I haven't know, but I have just asked for the chat gpt told me because they are using the same technology on web. By the way, if you are using VS Code, so VS Code is also built on web technologies using the electrons. So VS Code also have a feature also have a inspect terminal like a browsers have. Okay, yes, you can see electrons. Yes, yeah, I don't know how to open this inspection window in VS Code, but I know this thing. Okay. Okay, so now let me explain it again. Now it's your computer and it's your friend's computer. The both are open on browser. You can say both open browser. Maybe any browser, any latest browser like Brave, maybe Safari, and anything, any browser which supports WebRTC. Okay, so now to connect, to make a connection, because initially there is no connection. Let me remove this. Initially there is no connection. Okay, to make a connection we need to share the information of the info address information for both computer to make a connection each other. Okay, so to making a connection we need a instance server which is able to work like maybe net. I have not a much knowledge of instance server because instance server is also already built. Okay, so the instance server job is to create a ICE candidate for you. ICE candidate contain your private IP, your public IP, but maybe anyone there. Maybe if there is private IP, maybe there is public IP, maybe both. It's not guaranteed what you will get. If you want to learn more, you can just ask to the chat GPT for this. And so this will return our ICE candidate. So now we have ICE candidate, and now we have to prepare the offer as SDP, which is session description protocol that's contain our video codec information, frame rate, audio, how it's audio codec, everything contain this session SDP. Okay, and now we need to send these two things to our client, and you can say our second server, you can say our second device which from who we want to connect. Okay, so now we need a signaling server to send these information to second device. Okay, so our is so now we will send this to the signaling server will send this to second device. Okay, and second device will react and create a answer SDP, and also they request their own ICE candidate from the instance server, and now this will also send to this. And when we will get all this information, now our connection will happen. Okay, our WebRTC based UDP connection will happen, and now everyone is connected, and now we will able to talk each other. Okay, I think now I've explained everything. And if you want to learn more something, ICE framework, you can say ICE candidate contain IP, port info, instance server, discover the public IP used in most networks. Okay, and ton server, it's also there is one thing, ton servers, no need to discuss. Connection establish one thing I have forgotten. In this terminology, I mean in this system, these devices called peer. Okay, so they have peer to peer connection. You can see there is a connection, it's a peer connection, and also there is a peer connection. The peer connection will handshake each other. You can say it's just like a socket, a electrical board socket that's connect each other, and this called peer to peer connection. P2P, peer to peer, you can say P2P connection, peer to peer connection. Okay, this is one and one connection. And if you want to know how group chat will work, then comment me, I will create a part 2, and in that video I will explain how part 2 work. Okay, so now it's time to code with ZEGOCLOUD SDK. I have put a link on in the description. You can just click on that link and come here. If you use my link, then you will get 10,000 free minute credit. Okay, if you want 10,000 free minutes, so you can use my provided link which in the description. Just click on that and come here. So there are that some these are the landing page. If you want, you can read something here, but this is not our priority. So just come here and sign up. Okay, so create an account here by providing your personal details. Okay, and in the personal details you just have to provide name, region, and workspace, emails, and verification code, password. Okay, all the thing you have to provide, and you don't have to provide like me, you are lazy like me, so you can use the Google sign up. Okay, I am not gonna use this because I already have signed up. So let me open my signed in application. Okay, after the login you will be redirect to the dashboard, and in the dashboard you just have to click, by the way, here you will able to see your 10,000 minutes, and just click on the new project. By the way, I am recording this video second time, that's why there is already a project. Okay, so just click on the project. Here we have to create a video and voice call. Okay, this is also just for the voice conference, I mean video conference, but this support voice and video call both. So we have to go with a voice and video call. By the way, we will use ZEGOCLOUD UI kit. Okay, if you come here, if you click on the next, so here let's provide a name just like previously I was provided, YT dash VDO dash 2 dash 2. Okay, that's 2. And now here we have to use web applications. So this is not mandatory to select anything here, this is just for the code example. Okay, so we will use the UI kit. Why we will use UI kit? Because UI kit is really awesome things provided by the ZEGOCLOUD. We will create our full application in just a minutes. Okay, not just a minute, just in a few minutes. Okay, so we are using the UI kit. So there is one other option, it's custom SDK. If you want, you can use the custom SDK. You need to build everything from scratch, but we will go with the UI kit. So click on the start with the UI kit. We are going to use the UI kit. Okay, it's simple. This will take some time. Okay, so now this is creating a project for us. After this project, this will provide us example.html file. So you can use that HTML file for a reference. Also you can find the things on documentation. So we will also refer the documentation, we will also refer that HTML page. Okay, so now just wait for a few seconds. Now our project is completed. Now start building, and here we have to select our web application. I don't know for web why they are using Windows symbol, but for rest of things same is okay. But for this I don't know why. Okay, so web. Okay, so now here we are able to set up our configuration. You can see there is a configuration thing. It's a one and one, and there is for group call. So you can set everything, you can set here. By the way, if you set anything here, this will be reflected in our .html code. Basically these settings generate a HTML file for us. So you can set up these things, and now here you can see there is a button save and integrate. So just click on this button. Okay, so and now here is the demo of our application. So you can also watch this demo, but by the way, I'm not gonna allow my camera because yeah. Now this is okay. And now what we have to go, we have to get a configuration file. If you want, you can get, but if you don't want, you just ignore this. But I am going to use this configuration file. Here you can see we are not able to download. If you want to download, then you have to click first on here. Okay, in deployment button. After clicking the deployment, now we have enabled our download HTML file. Now click on the download HTML file. This HTML file contain the configuration for our application. You can see this configuration is here. You can see all the configuration is already done in our HTML file. Let me show you for a demo purpose. This is just a demo purpose application. Here I have downloaded multiple times. So let me open this in my already opened VS Code window. Okay, so here's that HTML file. If you want, you can run this HTML file and you can view this HTML file in browser. You will get the same UI which we have already seen on the dashboard of the ZEGOCLOUD. By the way, I'm not gonna scroll all the thing because this contain my secret keys. That's why I'm not gonna scroll this. But if you want, you can. You also have this file, so you can check from that. Check from there. Okay, so now let's ignore this, and now it's time to go to the console. Okay, now we are on the console. Now we have all the app. So now what we have to do, we have to read the documentation. You have to just come on here, and in the developers, go to the UI kits. In the UI kits, and go to the documentation. Yeah, there is a documentation. Yeah, in the documentation, just explore the video. In the video call, select here, select call kit. Okay, the call kit. In the call kit, now this is call kit, it's okay. And now what we have to do, we have to use .js file. Okay, because we are integrating this on web, so we need to use the JS. And here the raw HTML example, if you want you can see the raw HTML some configurations there, but not, we are not going with that. We are going with the npm package manager because we are using node. So we will use pnpm, but there is a example of npm. Here what we have to do, we have to download this kit. Okay, yeah, understand. And this is the code, this is the code for the Next.js. By the way, in the Next.js you can see, first you can see the import like this, which is ES6 module, regular ES6 module. But in the Next.js you have to do something different. You have to import like this, and just are some things we will look through this, worry not. And here if you wanna use this in production mode, so you need to set up this kit token. I will set up everything in production mode, so you don't need to think about anything. Okay, so I will tell you how you can do. Here also you will find the example codes you can do, and go and download. There is also the some examples. You can also see this all the example here of all the possible settings are written by ZEGOCLOUD. So you can also check there, because it's a interface, you can see it's a interface type for the ZEGOCLOUD config room. And now what we have to do, here you can find a authentication kit token. There is this kit token is the, you can say this is the utility function already built by the ZEGOCLOUD to create a token. We will in the production setup of the ZEGOCLOUD, we need to create a token on server side. So we will create that token on server side using the app id, room id, and user id, and also the secret code provided by the ZEGOCLOUD. We will use that thing, and we will use the ZEGOCLOUD provided algorithm to generate a token. That token we will generate on server side, and we will transfer that token on the client. And in the client we will initialize a production token. Okay, we will initialize a production token. In the production we will pass the token and some extra information, and we will create, and then we will spin up our ZEGOCLOUD chat or video conference window. Okay, so now let's see what here we have to do. You can go on the console, here, and you will find in the console you will find app id, and also you will find the secret, server secret. The two thing you need to get. Worry not, I will also guide for that. You have to generate a token. In the to generate token you need to use the token generator plugin on the GitHub. So you just have to generate the token using different programming language, the Go, C. And you can see here we have a node thing. So on the in the last you will find the node. So go to the GitHub. We have to go bash. Okay, on this file, click here. Now you can see we have the code thing, how you can implement. There is everything, but we click on the node. In the node, click on the server. In the server we are implementing the TypeScript. So this is the token generation code for from the ZEGOCLOUD. If you come here, you can see here we have to generate the token. You can see generate token for maybe this a version from the ZEGOCLOUD. By the way, this example is using PHP, so we here is for us. Okay, so just copy whole thing. And okay, by the way, I have forgotten to explain it. I mean tell you, you have to just create a Next.js application, just init the Next.js application using npm pnpm bun, whatever you wanna use you can use. I am using pnpm. You can say the pnpm config pnpm log file here, but you can use npm, you can use bun, which I have already used in my project multiple time. So you can use that. And now whatever you have used, it's not matter. If you use pnpm, just write pnpm. If you are using npm, use npm. If you are using bun, just write bun. But I am using pnpm, so I will add pnpm and this. Okay, not this. First we have to download the package, but before downloading package, let's create a utility folders. Create a folder called live, and also create a file here, which is the ZEGOCLOUD /, and if you want you can name anything. You are free to name anything. I am naming the server assistant ZEGOCLOUD.ts. Okay, here just put that code which you have already copied from the GitHub. So you will find the code here, and you can see the random UUID. You can there is no type description. I don't know why ZEGOCLOUD writers developers not written the thing here, but you this is the killer. You can see we are performing the math operation, so it's sure these two datas are in number. So I know, I am sure it's in number, so mark this as a number. Hmm. And here if you come here, you will find this is the string. By this string is you have to change this string. Best thing is to move that this string into your env file, and also change this script. Okay, you can generate your bash 64 script, I mean string, base not bash, base 64 string, and replace that from this, and also put that in env file for security. And this is not good to put here, so but I am leaving here because I just wanted make a demo. Okay, so you can say all the thing here. You don't have to worry about this thing what's here, but you just have to change what we have already explained you. I have already explained you. And something we want to remove, just search Control F and write console. I feel there is some console log, so we have to remove all the console, because we do not need to console here, because too much console slow down our application. That's why we do not need any console here, and there is also no need of console. And one is also remaining, so also remove this iv. Yeah, now it's fine. Now we have cleaned our this thing, and now what we have to do, we have to download the ZEGOCLOUD library. So just come on the npm, and here now copy this. This is the UIKit library provided by the ZEGOCLOUD, so just download it. And npm add this library. And one more library we want, faker.js. Okay, so we also have to download the faker.js. Now let me open the faker, FACKER, I think. So we also have to download this faker.js. And now let's come on the now getting started. I will also tell you what's for this one. By the faker.js is used for creating a fake identity, you can say fake UID, fake name, fake e-commerce detail, fake orders. Okay, by the way, these things, if you want this kind of thing, maybe you want to generate some random name, you have to use this. So it's a really awesome thing, and also very easy to use. There is also for the pnpm, but they are using the dev, but we don't want to use as a dev. We want to use as a main dependency. Okay, so that's why I am copying this part. I want this is a main dependency, because in our application there is no authentication layer, so we will generate a random user details. That's why we are using this as a dependency. I want this in also in production, that's region. Okay, so now now we'll come here and create a file, auth/auth.ts. Okay, and here write some details and some code for generating a fake user detail. You will get that fake user detail thing here. You can say just come on to the ZEGOCLOUD video call live repository. I have put that repository link in the description, so just you have to click on that and come here on this part, src live auth, and here copy this file. Let me first explain you what this is doing. We are generating fake first name and fake last name, and also we are generating fake user id, fake username, based on the first name and for last name. And also we are generating the first name, full name, by concatenating email, phone, and created. So these are the fake data for authenticated user. This will change on every reload, and it's not a problem for us, and it's not a concern for there. And there is no concern about this. So we will get a fake user information on every reload. So just copy this code and now come here and paste. Now we have this code. Now what we have to do, we have to create a server action. Now we have to create a server action for creating a secret token for our ZEGOCLOUD application. So here create a file, name it action. Here you have to import that v4 thing here, v4 token generation utility function here, provided by the ZEGOCLOUD. So you have to import that here, and you have to just create. By the way, you have to mark this as your server, because it's a server action. That's right. Here you just have to create a asynchronous function, generate ZEGOCLOUD instance. Okay, so this will generate a ZEGOCLOUD instance. What I am is explaining. And here there is a user id, which is coming from our you can say the auth.session.id. It's coming from this layer. You can see from here, this id is coming from here. And here it's the app id coming from our env, but we have all not created any env. And also it's a secret, server secret. We haven't created this thing here, but we will create. And here the effective time, if you wanna add expiry time in the link, you can add the expiry time in a token, because not in link, it's in, this is available in the token. Here the payload, if you want some extra payload, you can read that on the github of the ZEGOCLOUD. And here generate token, so we are using this function to generate token. We are passing the app id provided by the ZEGOCLOUD. User id, by the way, this user id is required. Which user id you will put here, you will only get access to the that user id to join the link, okay, join the conference. So here you have to put the user id whose you wanna join this link. So this is the that is this thing. And here the server secret, again server, effective time and payload, but in our case this payload is empty. And now here we are returning token, this generated token, and also the user id. Why user id? Because we are using faker.js. When faker.js runs on server, that generate different user id, and when the faker.js runs or client, that different generate different user id. That's why we are exporting the user id from here. I mean to say, we are returning the user id here, so to make a common user id from to both in front end and back end. So, okay, but if you use any authenticated user, so you have always have the same user id in front end and back end. Then in that case you don't need to care about this thing, but in this case we need to care. And now it's time to add our .env file. Okay, so now double click here, add .env, and just come on to the my github. In the github, go to the root, and here you will find a env.example file. Here you will get all the example of env which we are using. Just copy this. Okay, now this is copied, and now come here and paste here. And now go to the ZEGOCLOUD dashboard. On the ZEGOCLOUD dashboard, go to the not there, go to the specific where I am, yeah, here, go to the specific application, like here, this is our specific application. So now we have app id and our app secret here, server secret here, but app id is public, so you can expose the app id, and but server secret is not public. So copy the server secret and app id and put that app id and server secret here. Okay, so now I have added my information in our my env file. You can also add. Okay, so now this is generated. Now it's time to manipulate our this page.tsx. Okay, in the page.tsx we have to create a configuration for the ZEGOCLOUD. Here in the page.tsx I have already set up the thing. Here if you wanna do, just import the cloud instance. It's a server action, and the auth for getting the some things, and the search param, and also the use effect, use ref and state. Okay, I don't know why I am explaining these things. And now here I am setting the some loading state, and also I am creating a use ref. In the use ref I am adding a div element. It's a div element type. Currently it's null, but we will use set a div in when our app is mount. And the search params, in the you can see in the search param I am getting the room id from the search params. You can see that from the url I am getting the room id. If not a room id, then create a random room id. This by the way, this code, this part of code is copied from ZEGOCLOUD provided .html file, and here this is the Next.js thing. Okay, and here what we are doing, when I think it's not okay, yeah, it's the thing. First let me show the return. In the return you can see here I have initialized a loader. When our component is loading, then this will spin up the loader. And also you can see if loader is loading, then so. And here is a div. This reference is container ref, which I have already discussed. Okay, and there's some class. And now it's time to discuss over this use effect. It's a asynchronous function. Whenever you want to use async thing in use effect, then you can't pass the asynchronous function here. You have to create a asynchronous function. By the way, this is the if function. You can see if function is created like this: circle brackets. In the first circle bracket you have to write your function. Yeah, this one. So you have to write like this is the if function. This kind of function you don't need to call. This function is called automatically when it's initialized. So okay. So it's if function. In the if function I am passing a asynchronous function if container dot current. Okay, by the way I mean to say if can this reference have anything, in our case we are setting a div, we are referencing a div. Then what you have to do, you just have to generate the token. This this server action, this is the by the way this is server action. You can see this is the server action here. And now we are importing the ZEGOCLOUD utility, like we have discussed seen in the documentation. The same kind of implementation here. Make sure you have to mark this as a client because all the thing is work on the client. And here here you need to initialize your client token. You can say the kit token. You need to create a kit token. To create a kit token you need to use this ZEGOCLOUD UI pre-built, and you have to use this production token. Okay, generate kit for token. There is also code for generate to for test. This thing you will get in the HTML file, but this thing you will get in my tutorial. Okay, so this will generate a production token. Here what we have to pass, you have to pass your ZEGOCLOUD app id. Okay, ZEGOCLOUD app id, and also the token which is generated from the our server, or you can say the from our server action. And you have to pass the user id to maintain a consistency, and also you have to pass the username. It's you do not need to pass same username, that's why I have used the username, direct import of username. And now what we have to do, we have to create a ZP constant, and here you have to create the UI. You can say anything, I don't know where in term of ZEGOCLOUD, but you have to do like this. This is the configuration. Okay, and here you have to join the room, and first room the personal link name you can, if you want you can change. Okay, it's totally optional. Yeah, it's totally optional. In the URL we are setting some URL thing to just generate the URL. By the way this URL you will get displayed in a inbox. So that is this is the inbox URL. And the scenario, it's a video conference, and there are the some settings you can read on the documentation of ZEGOCLOUD. And here we are setting the loading is false. You can see when our app is loaded, then we are setting this to the true. I don't know where I am setting, let me see where I am setting this true. Control F. Okay, its default is true. When everything is completed, then we are marking this to true false. Okay, it's loaded. Now you can see all the setup here. And one thing I think I have forgot, you can see there is a container. In this container we are referencing our this div. You can see this div. Okay, this is the div. Yeah, here we are referencing. If you are using native HTML and JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, then you have to pass the DOM object here, like document dot thing. I don't know the DOM. I have all totally forgotten the everything about the DOM, because I am not using the DOM, because I am using this kind of thing. React, in the React you do not need to manipulate DOM. If you want some DOM in DOM, if you want to do some DOM things, so you have a user thing, so you can do from them. Now you can use that. Okay, so now we have completed our ZEGOCLOUD setup. I think it's completed. Now let's see, because I have already run the server. Now you can see our app is loading, and it will take some time. Let me disable my camera because I don't want to show anything here. Okay, so it's disabled. Now you can see our link is generated here. This you can see the personal link and the link which we have configured here. You can see this that configuration is come from here. So we have configured that thing here. So now that is that thing. And now it's a brain wolf username, any username generated by the our library. And now you can click on the join. So now we have joined. Okay, so now it's still, because our camera is disabled, here you can share your screen, everything is pre-built. Okay, so now you can see I am sharing this screen. Let's share. Yeah, now I have shared the screen. It's I think it's a Zoom like experience, not Google Meet. Google Meet has different interface. So now I have created everything. So now it's time to finish this project. Okay, so now thanks for the watching, and don't forget to use my use my link to get 10,000 free minutes. Okay, so now bye.